So if anyone out there was actually wondering why I haven't made a video or gotten a haircut in the past 7 months, it's because I am still in the basement looking for my Super Nintendo. All my Super Nintendo games in my 1993 Star Fox competition t-shirt. Priceless relics of my childhood lost to the void of history. Stuck down here with Soundwave and lead paint Voltron. So if you didn't know, I used to be pretty into Star Fox. This is evidenced by my 2 videos of playing the original games with a $500 flight stick. At this point, Star Fox 2 is probably one of gaming's worst kept secrets. Preview articles were popping up in gaming magazines, and excitement was high until all of a sudden it was just quietly swept under the rug. Nintendo had the direct sequel to Star Fox basically completed when Miyamoto decided to scrap it, apparently so the series could have a fresh start on the Nintendo 64. Years after its cancellation, an early test build was leaked online, with a more completed version showing up in 2002. This ROM has since been patched up, translated, and is now fully playable to completion. But according to lead programmer Dylan Cuthbert, there actually was a fully finished version of this game with more content available than the one leaked online. He also states that this will likely never see so much as a virtual console release due to legal conflicts with the now defunct Argonaut Software, the company responsible for developing the Super FX chip which made Star Fox possible. I found the Sonic board game if anybody wants to hear about that. So like many of you watching this have probably already done, I checked this game out as a novelty back in the day, but I never really spent much time with it. It's clearly not a finished game, but what's here is pretty impressive. The visuals are colorful and lively, though somewhat lacking in consistency, and sometimes the music feels a little bit like a placeholder, which it probably is, though plenty of tracks are pure 90s Star Fox. The controls feel particularly awkward at first. You actually spend most of your time exploring 3D environments rather than shooting on rails. You eventually get used to it, but it's a big departure from the original. The most important thing I can tell you is if you've only finished this on normal, you haven't really played it at all. Normal here is barely a tutorial. I've never seen such dichotomy in difficulty levels before. On normal, you conquer a planet just by flying to its reactor and shooting it a couple times. On expert, you'll have to defeat multiple unique bosses, take out the reactor core's defenses, lower its shields, all while Corneria is being bombarded off screen in real time. And if Corneria falls, it's instant game over. Plus, you've got enemy squadrons flying all over the map causing trouble, and you can only be in one place at a time. I recommend playing it on hard. It should probably just have been labeled normal. So the first novelty you're greeted with is this character select screen. You've got the 4 you already know, plus Miyu and Faye, 2 characters never mentioned anywhere else in Star Fox history. Something about a poodle with a bow just feels out of place to me. Oddly enough, they probably got the best ships in the game, but come on, I just played Fox every time. You get to pick a wingman too, who basically just provides mission banter and functions as your alternate ship. The next thing you're greeted with is the map screen, and unlike the previous title, you can pretty much do missions in any order you like. This is where the game gets strategic on harder difficulties. You have to protect Corneria from missiles and fighters, all while assaulting Andross's bases and carriers. There's an orbital defense station to help you out, but most of the time it just gets taken over and turned against you. The game can feel shallow on normal because so much of this content is cordoned off into higher difficulties. You miss out on all sorts of interesting planets and bosses. I have yet to beat it on expert though. It's a huge challenge trying to keep up with the endless stream of attacks coming from every direction. So I'm not going to bother being critical about a game that wasn't even released, but there are some missed opportunities. Like I mentioned before, time doesn't stop while you're in a mission, so if you're too slow, Corneria will start taking hits. But since you only ever use 2 characters at a time, that means the other 4 are just sitting there doing nothing. It would have added a layer of strategy to be able to send them out on missions or to guard key locations, also expanding the value of your weird-looking mothership, which now functions mostly as a mobile repair hub. Though I guess we'll just never know what sort of features the final product would have had. The more I played, the more I was shocked by just how much Nintendo was willing to throw away. Many aspects of the franchise actually made their debut here. You've got the goofy Walker mode featured in the Star Fox Zero. Here it plays sort of like a third-person shooter. It can even swim. The whole Star Wolf team make their debut here, though some of them look kind of disturbing. Plus, almost the entire game takes place in what was later called all-range mode. So if you're any kind of Star Fox fan, I wholeheartedly recommend giving this one a try. It's a fun glimpse into an alternate history of my personal favorite Nintendo franchise. I've always wondered why they put a generic level 1 enemy on the cover of Star Fox 64. Seems like a bad choice. Whatever. I never did find my Super Nintendo, but I did find something like 200 more PC games while I was down there, so I got plenty of stuff to talk about. But I think I'm gonna check the basement one more time anyway. Maybe I left it with the Christmas stuff, who knows.